get started, we're going to sit in like sort of semi-reflexive seat. So just one pillow just kind of right underneath the curve of your butt, so that when we sit onto it, you want to just kind of tuck it and wedge it in so that your feet can be a little solid on the ground. You can feel that touch point, and then just for a moment, you're going to softly fold over your legs just a little, just that slight reduction of incoming information. Let your eyes close down for a moment. Take a gentle breath. And then along the way as we go today, if Ujjayi breath is in your practice, Ujjayi breath being victorious breath, the ocean sounding breath, or for my Americana friends, it's that Darth Vader breath. It's the breath that has this sort of resonant sound. So there's a slight lift in the soft palate of your mouth, and you create a little resonance into your sinus cavities. So you make a little ocean sound as you breathe in and a little ocean sound as you breathe out. The breath comes in and out through your nose, and it's a nice, slow, controlled breath. And when we do our Ujjayi breath, our ocean sounding breath, it doesn't have to be like so loud that your neighbors across the street hear you. It's just a little bit of a resonance so that you can hear the sound of your breath. So see if you can just find a little bit of an ocean sound as you breathe in through your nose, and a little ocean sound as you breathe out. And then if you've got like a good quality Ujjayi breath, I'll say take it with you through the rest of your practice. Add it in when your mind thinks of it, or just let it come naturally along the way. Walk yourself up so that you just get a gentle handhold of your knees or your shins, calves and kittens. So we want to keep our butt wedged against the pillow so we're not tilting the pelvis too much. And you want to think a little bit of a flexion and extension of the spine, but your butt and your hips stay pretty stable against the wedge of the pillow behind you, the curve of your butt. And then see if you could add that Ujjayi breath in as you move. Inhale as you lift your chest. Exhale as you round your back. And perhaps you're making a slight gentle ocean sound as you go. Go for about 3 more cycles of breath. And then with just a nice tall neutral spine, hold on to your legs or your shins, tick tock your head from side to side. Just think ear to shoulder, and just kind of loosen up the cervical spine. Feel a little stretch coming into the side of your neck. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw. You want to take a swallow, get your tongue sucked into the roof of your mouth, keep your jaw in a slightly relaxed state, and then see if you can bring that Ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath, back in. Take one more tick tock of your head from side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, we're going to readjust the pillows. So one pillow is going to come off to one side, one pillow is going to come off to the other side. I should have said anybody who likes the back blanket, just have it nearby, but get those pillows. What we're going to do is going to come down onto our back, and we're going to do like a little bit of butterfly, those somatic butterfly slides. So take your time, get your pillows alongside your hips, alongside your thighs, come down onto your back. And then as you come down onto your back, give your spine a moment, give your nervous system a moment, let your body just ease into the floor, and then see if you can come back to that Ujjayi breath for a moment. Nice inhale through your nose, making that resonant ocean sounding breath. If Ujjayi breath is a little new to you, or it's been a while since you've practiced it, a lot of the ways that we talk about finding that initial resonance of the breath is you imagine that you're fogging the glass on your window or a mirror. So you make that that nice resonant sound, but then you try to maintain that sort of idea of that resonance, but with your mouth closed and breathing in and out through your nose. So it's a nice way to find it is that you imagine that you're breathing your breath onto a pane of glass, and then you push that idea of breath in and out through your nose. All right, so once you've settled into your back and your nervous system feels pretty good and solid on the ground, right leg is going to do just a little butterfly flap in and out. And you're just looking for touch point to the pillow, and where it touches doesn't matter. It's just going to shoot for like what feels like a comfortable range. Notice your foot, notice your ankle. And then when we add in our leg slides, the mats, our yoga mats, the sticky mats, have a little bit of a texture to them, generally speaking. And I'm going to ask you to play with the idea, unless it annoys you, because you want your practice to be nice and loving and held up, right? So as long as it doesn't annoy you, I'm going to ask you to play with the idea of dragging your foot along the stickiness of your mat as you go for the slide out position. So now you're going to go half butterfly, slide your leg long, and it might do a little bit of a stagger as it goes, but let it stagger, but think about that texture kind of helping wake up the bottom of your foot, and then gently slide your leg back in, half butterfly position, knee comes up towards the ceiling, push a little bit down into your foot. It'll do a little jug 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 jug, but imagine that you're just trying to rub your foot against the texture of your mat, get it nice and long, and then gently slide it back in. And then you're just going to take a few more times on this right side. Let the knee come in and out, slide your leg long with a little bit of pressure against the foot, only if that feels good. If it annoys you, leave it off. Go for about 2 more if you can. On the last one, see if you could possibly find that Ujjayi breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch the work to the other side. So left leg is just going to start to find that half butterfly flap, flapping in and out, looking for touch points against the pillow, noticing. And then you can move the pillow, wedge the pillow, adjust the pillow so it gives you a touch point or support that feels good. And then once you've done a couple of good butterfly flaps with that left leg, same thing on the left. We're going to do half butterfly, knee goes up towards the ceiling, slide the leg long, and on the slide out position, a little pressure down into the foot so you can get your foot to drag against the sticky texture of your mat. Half butterfly, knee goes up towards the ceiling, push into the foot, slide it nice and long, and then soft slide it back in. And then just take a few rounds going in and out. And then as you go, see if you can find that Ujjayi breath, that nice ocean sounding breath. All right, go for 1 or 2 more in and out. And then we're going to take it into a supine tree pose. So we're going to take our right leg and you're going to just kind of wedge your pillow in just a touch so that now your right leg can come out into that tree position. And then the left leg is going to slide nice and long. If your left leg slides long and it wants a little bent knee support, tilt your pillow so it comes up underneath the bend of your knees. But once you've got a supine tree, right leg is in that bent tree position, left leg is your long limb. Prayer hands are going to come to heart center. So you're going to go thumbs to sternum, a little aliveness into your elbows, a little length into the back of your neck, a little intentional, purposeful drishti. So focus gaze, looking up towards the ceiling. And then see if you can come back to that Ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath in through your nose, resonates in the sinus cavity. And then exhale through your nose and it makes that nice, gentle, resonating sound. We're going to release prayer hands so that arms can float up into cactus goalpost position. So float your arms up and then give your shoulder blades, your rib cage, and your costume a chance to get figured out in that cactus goalpost position. And then once you've got cactus goalpost position with the arms, start to turn your head from side to side. In this cactus goalpost position, notice if your rib cage wants to puff up and flare. Is there a big arch in your back? Can you anchor the back of your rib cage down and still maintain that soft goalpost position and still add that head turn? Take one or two more side to side with the head, and then bring your head back to center. And now arms are going to slide up Charlie's Angel Mudra. Interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the wall behind you. Get a little bit of length through your torso, up through your arms. Gaze up at the ceiling. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. Slow release of your arms back down to that prayer hands to heart center. Lift your right knee up so it comes up towards the ceiling. Slide your right leg down to meet the left. Left leg's going to slide up, and then the left leg is going to come half butterfly position, so it's in that supine tree pose. Once you've got your supine tree here, thumbs to sternum, elbows a little bit alive. Check your rib cage, see if you can get that anchored down right away, and then see if you can come back to Ujjayi breath for a moment. Get that resonant breath coming in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more breath. Arms are going to float up to cactus goalpost position. One side with the leg might feel a little different than the other. So get your arms arranged, snuggle the shoulders down, see if you can get that rib cage nice and anchored down towards the ground. Put a little length into the back of your neck. Focus, gaze up at the ceiling. Take a breath. And then add a head turn if it feels good. Slowly turn your head from side to side. How much range of motion you shoot for here is going to be like what feels comfortable and available without forcing your neck to do anything that doesn't feel good. Beautiful. Take one more turn of your head from side to side, and then head comes back to center. Anchor your rib cage down, slide your arms up, Charlie's Angel Mudra. Interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the wall behind you, and then a little bit of length into the tube of your waist. Anchor the rib cage down, take a nice big breath in through your nose. Nice slow breath out. Let your hands release back through that prayer hands through heart center position, and then lift that left knee up, slide your right leg in. We're going to walk the big toes together, knees together, and now we're going to go belly stretch. So when we do belly stretch, it's a stretch across the front line of the abdomen. So we keep the knees together, we keep the toes together, and we let the knees dip over to that right pillow. And then we just look for that slight feeling of stretch right across the front of the abdomen. And then if it feels good, for anyone who likes that little fascial tug, take your left hand to the left curve of the ribs and just pull slightly towards the side of your ribs. So you're just putting a little extra tension onto that fascial line at the front of the belly. And then once you've found a good handhold that feels good, take a nice big intentional breath. Breathe like you're trying to fill your rib cage up. And exhale as slow as you can. Take one more cycle of breath. Release left hand from ribs, gently float knees to center. Pause in center just for a moment, just to give the fascial line a moment to feel that neutral. And then knees together, toes together. Now drop your knees over to the left. Adjust the pillow so it catches those knees in a nice supportive way. Feel that little tug across the front line of the abdomen, and then possibly, if it feels good, right hand finds the right curve of the ribs, and you just give a little gentle pull down, like you're just trying to pull a little of that skin and connective tissue towards the side of the rib cage. And then once you've got that little fascial tug, big intentional breath. Breathe like you're trying to fill the low end of your rib cage up. Take one more breath. All right, release your right hand from the ribs, float your knees up. Now we're going to take left side pillow, and you're just going to take that left side pillow and you're going to spin it around so it tucks right up underneath the bend of your knees. So get that pillow in place first. And then once you've got that pillow in place, nice long legs, hold on to the sides of your thighs. Use your elbows. We're going to get that nice organized come up. So you're going to push down into your elbows, lift your chest, lift your sternum, and then slowly, slowly, slowly ease your way up so you're in that nice comfortable seat. Pillow supports the bend of the knees. We're going to do two different positions with the other pillow. So start with it wedged as much into that V of your waist, right? So into the V of your hips, wedge it in, and then fold. When we put it here, it's putting you into a slight bit of flexion in the upper body. If it's available, if your hands will reach, we're never going to force ourselves to do anything that doesn't feel like it's just right away available. If it feels available and your hands can touch your toes, you're going to reach to the toes and do that little uncurl of the toes. When you hold on to the feet, it's going to feel like it brings that stretch a little bit more into the upper body. So shoot for it if it feels available, leave it off if it doesn't. And then just notice that little point of tension in the upper back. Take a big rib cage filling breath and breathe like you're trying to breathe down into that low end at the back of your rib cage. Take one more breath. If you caught hold of your toes, softly and gently and mindfully release. Now we're going to take that pillow that's on top of the thighs wedged into the hip crease, and you're going to move it down so it's on top of your shins. And then it's going to put a bunch of freedom and space into the front of your abdomen. And now you're going to reach towards, maybe towards the toes, maybe just towards the pillow, but see if you can just make it a little bit more so that it feels like the stretch comes down a little bit lower. Maybe think low back stretch. And then once you feel just that slight and subtle change of where you feel sensation, see if you can find that ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath in and out through your nose. Take one more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, come up and out nice and slow. Now we're going to put our pillows into a tall stack. So swing your legs out and around, because now we're going to go into our deer seat position, or a zigzag seat. So you're going to put your pillows off to one side and then get your legs so that we've got one leg bent to the front. That one's in external rotation. One leg's bent out to the side. That one's in internal rotation. And then we're going to do a little bit of, let's call it lightly dynamic. So the pace is going to be what feels good to you. So you're going to go a little side bend. So you're going to reach up and over into that side bend position. Let your arms stretch all the way up and over, and then come up out of that side bend, rotate towards the stack of pillows, and then fold over there. And like think like fold over like you're just looking over a cliff, and then come back up. And you're going to alternate between those two spaces. So you're going to go into that side bend position, stay there as long as you like, come up away from it, and then twist and fold and look over the cliff. Take your time, go at a gentle pace that makes sense to you. Everybody's pace might look and feel a little bit different. Stay in the places that feel good, knowing that when we meet together in side bend, we'll do a little bit of play with the side bend work. So stay wherever you want to. And then eventually we'll meet in that side bend position. And then, of course, as we're going along here and take a little personal inventory, we'll obviously do the same work to the other side. And if you're here and anything feels like it's like funky, out of place, need a cushion underneath the side of your hips, any of those little things, take a second to ask yourself what's showing up that might want a little extra support on the other side. Go for about one more round, and then we're going to go into that side bend position and then stay there for a minute. So when you're ready, find your side bend. Let your arms stretch up over your head. Take a moment just to notice the shape. Take a breath. And then we're going to roll our side bend a little forward and back. So think like my foam roller friends, you're just going to take that side body and you're just going to tip it a little bit forward, tip it a little bit back. Shoot to keep that upper arm in that high position if you can, just so that you can feel the little transition. So like when I round forward, I can feel it a little bit more down my lats. And then when I round back, I can feel a little bit of stretch into my armpit. So just kind of playing around with that slight forward position, play around with that slight back position. Notice how your body feels. Notice if there's one place that just feels so much better to you. There's no right or wrong. You just want to kind of play with what feels nice. And then find the position that feels the nicest to you. And then hang there for a second. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself up and out. Take your time as you come up. And of course, we're spinning it around to the other side. So work your way around in a way that makes good sense. I'm moving my pillows. You move yourself in a way that is right for your body and the space that you're working in. Get your seat arranged. So you got the zigzag seat. Left leg is in front, externally rotated. Right leg's out to the side, internally rotated. And then we find those little variations of shape and you set your pillows up so that it finds that light, smooth, dynamic work. Side bend, come up, rotate, twist, look over the cliff. And then just alternate between those two spaces at a pace that feels good to you. Go for about one more time through, or two, just depending on the pace that you're working at. And then we'll meet up in that side bend position. So adjust anything that you need to so the side bend will feel good. Let the arms stretch out up and overhead if that feels available, comfortable to the shoulders. Take a moment just to notice. See if you can find that ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath. And then if it feels good, we play with a little bit of that forward and back positioning. So a little bit forward, maybe that slight rounding of the upper back body, and a little bit back, that slight opening up through the armpit and the chest. And then once you've played enough with that forward and back position, ask yourself on this side, which side feels the nicest, and then see if you can land on that spot for a second and take a nice big breath. Cool. And then when you're ready, slowly, 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 slowly bring it all back up and in. Now's where we're coming around to that hip flexor stretch. So we're going to come down onto our back and we're going to put our pillows up underneath our butt for that supported hip bridge. But if you know that a yoga block is a little bit more sturdy and that's where it's at for you, pick the tool that feels good. You can go 2 pillows. That's going to give you the high stack of hips. You can go 1 pillow. You might go 1 pillow folded in half. So it gives you a slightly firmer support. Shoot for the efforted position that feels right to you and the support that feels just right, because we're going to walk the legs long and it's going to put that stretch into the front pockets of your jeans. So get yourself around and down onto your back, lift your butt up, and then slide whatever prop you want to use underneath your butt. I find that the 2-stack pillow feels really nice to me, but I just got to do that little, I got to do the scooch around. So get your butt up onto whatever prop feels good. You want your bones of your hips on the support. Once you've got the bones of your hips onto the support, right away, we're going to walk the legs out nice and long. And then you're going to let the toes spill out just a little bit. And then we want to shoot for just a nice open feeling into the front pocket of your jeans. So get where it feels good. If you got 2 stacked and you're like, that's too much, take one off. If it feels too unsupported, yoga block. If it all doesn't feel good, no support underneath, just legs long. Once you've got a shape that feels reasonable, arms out in T position or arms up in Y position, shoot for the one that feels pretty good. And then you're just going to see if you can come back to that ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath. It resonates as you breathe in through your nose. And then the breath resonates as you breathe out through your nose. 3 more cycles of breath in this soft variation. Now we'll add a little touch of strength building, but if you're like, I'm not in the mood for that today, then you're going to stay as soft as you like. Notice your breath, notice where your energy is at. And then if it feels good, start with a little corpse roll with the feet. Turn the toes in, turn the toes out, just as much as feels good, just to bring a little bit of aliveness into the legs, into the thigh bone hip socket, into the hip flexors. And then once you feel like your legs just are a little bit more alive, a little bit more alert, left leg is going to slide into bent knee position and right leg is going to do the work. Slide your left leg in, pop your right leg up so it's in a slight hover, and then you're just going to do that little fascial bounce. So you're going to lift the leg up and down at a gentle dynamic pace. The idea of the work, when we do those fascial bouncy movements, it's you do the muscles are working, but what we want to do is just create this like really nice dynamic rhythmic movement so it feels like it alivens the fascia versus like stretching the fascia. So we just want to get that feeling of heat and aliveness into the top of your thigh, the front pocket of your jeans. Notice where you're feeling any strength coming from your body, possibly even into your low abdomen. Take a moment just to notice. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch the work. Extend your right leg in, bent knee position, slide your left leg long, let it pick up into a little bit of a hover. And then we do that light fluttering up and down. So it's bouncy, it's dynamic, and it creates an aliveness, a responsiveness in the fascia. Take a moment here to notice, because one side might feel very different from the other. Our sides of our body have completely different histories. So you might have something in your front pocket of your jeans on one side compared to the other. You might have a slightly different bone set compared to the other. Little tiny things might show up. You might hold tension in different places around the hips. So just know one side might always feel very different from the other. Take a moment just to notice where you feel that gentle effort coming from. And then once you've felt in just enough, slide that leg in, come back to that supported hip bridge position, pause in neutral, take a breath. All right, now we're going to push firm into our feet. Lift your hips up and you're going to slide your propping tools out from underneath you, but hold in your hip bridge if you can, just to put a little bit of strength into your butt muscles, backs of the thighs, feeling that good sturdiness, your own personal strength, notice. And then we're going to go down one vertebrae at a time if that feels comfortable to you. Slow, 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 slow. I set my pillows off to the left. We're going to go into our knee supported supine twist position, and I'm going to offer cat grabbing its tail. Cat grabbing its tail is not for everybody's body, but I wanted to put my pillows off to the left so that you'd be able to see my legs. So you're going to take, if you put your pillows off to the left, you're going to take your right leg and it's going to come up onto your stack of pillows. I like my left arm to anchor my leg. That feels nice to me. And then you're going to bend your left leg only if that cat grab feels good, and you're going to catch hold of the left shoelaces, and then you open up into your twisted position, adjust your shoulders, adjust your ribs. But if the cat grabbing its tail doesn't feel good, stick with just supine twist. Notice what shows up, and then see if you can come back to that ujjayi breath, that nice ocean sounding breath. For me, what I find happens here personally in this position where we've got the knees stacked on the pillows and I'm in this twisted position and I've got the cat grab its tail maneuver going on, over a little period of time, after a couple cycles of breath, there's a little bit of room in my thoracic spine so I can readjust my ribs and adjust my shoulders, and then I can get a little bit more of a head turn. So notice if your breath creates a little bit more space, and then you can make little wiggles and little micro adjustments so you're in a nice comfortable twisted position with a good steady breath in and out through your nose, making that nice ocean sound if you can. Take one more breath. And then if you got the cat grab tail, you're going to slowly and softly release. Don't let the leg ricochet, but gently slide it down nice and long. And then roll off your stack of pillows. Come through a supine position into a neutral, just to give your spine, your nervous system just a moment. And then when you're ready for it, pass your pillows over to the other side. Get yourself all set up and then roll over and across. Take your time as you go. Hop that leg up onto the pillow, possibly catching hold of the foot, maybe holding those knees into that stack of pillows, and then opening up into your twist. The twist is going to be, of course, always what feels available on this side might look very different from the other. So find your shape, see what shows up, and then see if you can come back to that ocean sounding breath. Go for about 3 more cycles of breath. And then to tell you where we're heading into our Shavasana, for some of us, we'll do double stack pillows, open heart back bend. Some of us might opt for the split spine so that the pillows are side by side and we put the spine down the split of the seam of the pillows. And then anybody who wants it, Pilates ball between the knees and the looping resistance band around the thighs. So you get that nice hip rest position. So just know where we're heading next is all going to be the pillow support is going to be what feels the most comfortable to you or what's just like in your mood today. So take one more breath here. And then if you're holding on to that cat grabbing its tail, let that foot slowly and mindfully release. Don't let it ricochet down. Slowly unwind so that you can come into that supine position, come onto your back, and then pause for a moment and just take a breath. All right, and then all the options that you want. If you want to go for open heart back bend, it's going to be that double stack of pillows right behind your back. And then if you want the Pilates ball for that resting position for the hips, you'll go looping resistance band all the way up and over the knees. And then you take your ball, put it between the knees, and that just gives that effortless position for the legs. For some of us, it'll feel nice open heart back bend. Personally, I found with the balls in the knees, I liked the split spine. I felt like that was just kind of I don't know, felt nicer. And then the other option, if you're like, I'm not in the mood for either of those, one pillow just behind the back where the edge of the pillow falls right in line roughly with your armpits. And then your head is in that falling back position. This one feels great for the ball. So go for the one that feels good, where you have a nice feeling in your back, an effortlessness in your legs. Leaving off that ujjayi breath now and just letting your breath come in and out at a nice neutral pace. Soft eyebrows, soft jaw. Soft fingers, soft toes. You always have the option to stay in your resting position as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, maybe invite just a little bit of gentle movement into your fingers and into your toes. Maybe for a little fun variety, keep your lips together, but smush your lips a little side to side as if you're trying to kiss your own cheeks. And then when you feel a nice, slow or deeper intentional breath come back into your body, maybe you take it towards that good morning stretch. Start to walk your legs nice and long. Stretch your arms up above your head. Point your toes or flex your feet. Stretch from your fingertips to your heels or to your toes. Take that nice inhalation to get that yawning, stiffening stretch. And then exhale softly, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. If you opted for that ball in the band, take a second to move those props and tools out of the way and then sit on your pillows, make your little nest, anything that feels good. So you come back around in a way that feels good and you finish your practice in a way that feels nice and held up. And then once you've got a position that feels pretty good, take a second to just take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and gently bow your head towards your heart. And then just for a moment here, see if you can find that ujjayi breath again. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, for all of your hard work. And then taking one last energizing breath to bring in some positive intentions into your body and into the rest of your day. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. You guys are amazing. Happy Saturday.